In this video, we will be talking about certain artworks and their history, going in depth and observing them carefully. But before going any further, let me introduce myself. I'm Nephtali and with me is
Jenae Benson. Our first artwork is called the Statuette of Taharqa and the Falcon God.
Today it is located in Paris, France, in the famous museum Louvre.
But where is it originally from?
All the way from Egypt, created with gold leaf, stone, and silver-plated wooden base.
We both know that Egyptians love gold and love to use it in their art, but why is the falcon gold and not the figure next to it?
The figure next to the falcon is King Taharqa. King Taharqa is a member of the Nubian 25th dynasty, whose reign is dated 690 BC to 664 BC.
He was also the son of Pi, the Nubian king of Napata, who had also conquered Egypt.
King Taharqa reigned for nearly half a century until the country was invaded and conquered by the Assyrians. His power and dual reign over Egypt and Nubia is affirmed by the two Urises cobras on his forehead, which means perfect God, Taharqa alive for eternity.
Well, did you know that King Taharqa was one of the most famous pharaohs of the 25th dynasty?
King Taharqa seems like a very important person.
But yet we see the King Taharqa next to the gold cover falcon.
You would think that you would want to make the king stand out, and therefore you would coat him in something valuable, like gold.
First, the falcon is a deity, god of Hemen. He was a mythological war god who fought against forces of primordial chaos.
Well, that makes a lot more sense on why the pharaoh isn't the superior one in this. It also seems like King Taharqa is giving something to the falcon, god of Hemen.
It also seems like he is worshipping the deity.
Actually, the king is offering vases of wine to the deity.
The king is asking for something, and by offering the deity gifts, the deity will answer his prayer.
The king is asking for something, and by offering the deity gifts, the deity will answer his prayer. King Taharqa revived a 1,000-year-old tradition by which the pharaohs fulfilled his duty towards the gods by consecrating monuments to them in exchange for their benevolence and protection.
The second piece of artwork that we'll be looking at is a stirrup jar with octopus that comes from the Mycenaean culture.
The Mycenaean civilization thrived on the island of Crete. It is one of the largest islands of Greece and one of the 5 largest in the Mediterranean Sea. This culture was very dependent on sea trade, which helped them to gain power and grow as a civilization.
Unfortunately, the Mycenaeans didn't find it necessary to preserve their history or diplomatic correspondence, but at least they did leave a record of their administration of their kingdom. Archaeologists were able to find artifacts of Mycenaean pottery that they believe were created during 1550 to 1050 BCE.
The Mycenaeans were known for their beautiful pottery, specifically their vessels that were elaborately painted. The most popular vessel design were their stirrup jars. This name was given because the handles were shaped as double stirrups. The significance of the shape and decoration of their vessels displays the important role the sea played in the Mycenaean culture.
One of the artifacts that archaeologists found is a stirrup jar with octopus.
The primary purpose of these types of jars was to store and transport wine and olive oils.
These particular vessels were made from Grecian clay, terracotta, which was widely distributed in the Mediterranean area.
What makes these vessels so beautiful are their marine design painted on the jars. The Minoan culture had a big influence on the Mycenaeans. The design on this vase ultimately derived from motifs that decorated marine-style vessels of the late Minoan first period.
What we see here is a very large octopus with bold eyes that resemble swirls. The long tentacles wrap around the vase in a graceful and fluid motion with the tips curled as spirals. The head of the octopus meets the ring at the neck of the vessel, while the narrow torso and body reach down towards the base of the jar. There is a second octopus painted on the opposite side of the jar.
The importance of the octopus design was to display the importance of the sea. It was the largest factor of the Mycenaean success. Another possible reason for the octopus design suggests that this may have been a sort of trademark identifying the contents as Cretan produce.
This stirrup jar with octopus is on display at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. This is one of several Mycenaean artifacts that has been protected and preserved.
I hope this amazing piece of art has sparked your interest in the Mycenaean culture. They were the prosperous and talented civilization that left their artwork as clues to their past. There's so much more awaiting to be discovered.
Thanks for listening.